Welcome to another episode of The Fit Frequency. I'm your host, Doug Wattenshade, and today we have a very special guest, Jessica Cabrera, who is the CrossFit programmer here at Delaware Fit Factory and a coach and just all-around awesome human being. Jess, welcome.
Thank you.
So for those that maybe do not see you every Wednesday morning at 5 or 6 a.m., tell listeners who you are.
My name is Jessica, and I am a coach here. I have been for the last probably 2 years. I am a mom. I have 2 great kids. I love them very much. If you know me at all, you know that. You've probably met them or seen them in here or hung out with me with them. I started at Delaware Fit Factory in 2019. Came from Murph, loved it, stuck around. I found people that were like-minded, so I thought that was pretty awesome. Did not have really any sports or athletic experience prior. It's always fun to me to meet people here because I feel like everyone has all of these backgrounds of playing sports in high school or college. Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. And I didn't do any of that. I have no athletic background at all. So I didn't start working out at all until after I had both of my kids. I just wanted to, do something. I wasn't feeling great and I was young enough that I wanted to not have that be my path of just being unhealthy and not being fit and able to play with my kids and all of those things. Started running and then ran a half marathon, and then I really liked that. And so I started working out, and then I started liking really hard workouts, and it was like only so much that I could do by myself in my basement. My brother asked me to sign up for a Spartan race with him, and I did that, and I loved the training. And then a friend of a friend invited me to DFF, and I showed up at Murph, and the rest is history. I loved it.
Awesome. So a CrossFit member for a long time and then transitioned to being a coach.
Yes.
What was that like? Talk about the process of, shifting your mindset, or let's start here. What inspired you to change hats in the gym?
I did not want to. I was adamantly against it for a long time. So let's go through your roster really fast of who you had on staff when you asked initially if I would have any interest in coaching. Kelsey, a delightful human, one of my favorites, could basically GM any gym. You know what I mean? She's been doing this for so long. She's run so many classes and just been involved in so much in the CrossFit community. You know, I was very intimidated by just her experience. You have Heidi. She's got her level 2. She's got her gymnastics certification. Like, she is another really strong presence. You have Pam. We still talk about Pam, doing the pistol squat on the kettlebell. Like, that still comes up every time we do pistol squats, that archived video. So you had Cammie for a while, and she was just in such an upward trajectory, still crushing it down at Hyde Park, like with actual games athletes now. You had such a strong presence of coaches. I was really intimidated by that. And I came into CrossFit, did really well with the barbell, did really well with the Metcons. My gymnastics has always been the piece that I struggle with the most. And so I always felt like that was a little subpar to be coaching other people. And then I guess just over time, realizing that all of the coaches had different strengths, and just because it wasn't something that was the thing that I was the best at didn't mean that I didn't still have something to offer. So that's how I transitioned.
So what's that like, going from coming to class every day, working out, and then that's the end of CrossFit for you for the day, and then now you're coaching. You've got other tasks, but specifically let's go over coaching. You kind of are wearing a different hat. It's not come in, crush the workout, leave. It is come in, help others crush the workout, and then you don't even log scores anymore. So your perspective on even just the workouts is definitely different than it was 5 years ago or so. So talk a little bit about the different hats of I'm an athlete or a member or whatever you want to call it versus I'm now a coach and I'm preaching the CrossFit word, if you will.
Being a coach is different. It's just sometimes you have to bring the energy and sometimes the energy comes in. You know what I mean? So you have to just feed off of that, I guess, and give people a good experience and celebrate their victories. I just love the people here a lot. I think that, so let me back up a little bit. When I first started working out, I didn't just go like from running to CrossFit. I've tried a little bit of everything. I've done Zumba, I've done Pilates, I've done bar, I've done boot camps and spinning, and I worked out with free weights at the Y. And so there's been like a lot of variation. I even did the pound where you have the drumsticks and you're hitting the ball. I'm here to yuck no one's yum. Like, I think anything people are doing is incredible. I think if you're lifting 5 pounds or 500 pounds and you're here and you're trying, that's incredible. I think if you're at home and you're holding a toddler on your hip at 5 a.m. doing a Peloton with friends, and that's what you can give yourself that day, I think that's incredible. So I'm very grateful that people are here. Like, we wouldn't be here if the members weren't here. And so I do truly enjoy watching them succeed or watching people try hard. I know if you've ever taken my class, you've heard me say, I want to see your struggle face. And I do, because I just want to know that people are trying hard. I don't care what the weight is. I don't care if they're doing ring rows or banded pull-ups or bar muscle ups or whatever. It doesn't matter. The skill doesn't matter. I just want to see people try. And I love seeing people when they're proud of themselves or when they feel accomplished. I love seeing comments when people have a really fun partner workout and you can tell vibes were high. I love seeing the flames when people are like, vibes were high at 5 a.m. or vibes were high at 5:45, like Manish getting his muscle up video and coaches recording it, and you feel like you're there and just like you get a little bit of FOMO from not being there. And so,
yeah.
Anyway, when you're a coach, it's really fun because you get to be part of that. There have been some mornings in Free Fit where I just will look around and I truly get choked up. I know it sounds cheesy, but like there are some times where I'm asking people, this round, I want you to give me one more rep. It's the last round. Give me one more than you've given me for the last, several sets. And people do it. Like, people dig deep. And I just love that. I love seeing people work hard and feel accomplished and feel good about themselves, because I have no idea what someone is leaving to go to. We all have stressful lives and jobs and kids. I love when people bring their kids in and their kids see them working so hard. Like, we're all proud of our kids. They're used to seeing us, smile at them and cheer them on. So when people have their kids in here and they're doing something really hard and their kids are like, go mom, that is precious to me. So.
Yeah. And elephant in the room, if you can hear the music in the background.
Speaking of kids, class.
We have our teens class. It's the older of the youth classes. They're working out right now. And Kelsey's just taking that and run with it. And we got, I think, 5 or 6 of them out there that are throwing weights around. So apologies for the background noise. But switching.
I know, I'm jealous. I'm
want to get
pop
out
out for a second and go hang out in Kelsey's class.
Yeah. But there's definitely there's a perspective or a mindset shift or whatever word you want to use when you go from working on your own health to helping guide others. And it's not for everybody. Like, we've had a couple members that, like, they just love CrossFit and they want to try out coaching, and then turns out like, no, I just really love working out. I don't necessarily want to run a class of X number of people. But it is truly a unique feeling, like you said, if you're in Free Fit, and it doesn't have to be a super complicated workout. We'll talk about programming in a second, but like, it could be something incredibly simple, but you can definitely see when people are putting in the effort and then seeing results that, like, yes, the biometrics, losing weight, building muscle, all of that kind of stuff, but then also like the self-esteem and the pride that they take home, and then that carries over to the rest of their day. Like, something as simple as like, I'm going to mow the lawn the best that I can, or if I'm going to work, I'm going to do the best darn spreadsheet I can, because they crush the workout.
It's hard to have an amazing workout and walk into work and not be like, I'm a badass.
Yeah.
So, somebody comes at you with a side eye and you're just like, you're ready for it. You're ready for your day when you come in and vibes are high.
Yeah. And then depending on who that person is, you could be like, I did 100 air squats this morning. They're either going to look at you like, I don't understand, or they're going to be like, okay, you're ready to go. So if they know, they know. Let's switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
What is your other big task at Delaware Fit Factory?
I help out. I am a helper outer.
I knew this guy.
I do the programming. So we used to use Mayhem programming, and it was phenomenal. I mean, written by some of the best, right? Like, they have so much experience and so much great stuff written. But it got to the point where I was spending so much time making it work for our gym, our timeline, our space, our members. Not always that they were writing something that was too hard or too easy. It just got to the point where I was manipulating so much of what they were providing that it was taking longer than it needed to while we were still paying for programming. So I took that over in January. It's all in-house now. So that means that I write all the workouts, all the strength cycles, all the gymnastics cycles that we're going through, all of the Metcons every day that we're doing. Those all come from my brain.
So literally anytime somebody walks in for a CrossFit class, they're under the instruction of their coach, but you're deciding what it is that they're doing.
My mind.
Yeah. And I guess just to back up a little bit for those who may not know, like, the CrossFit world, Mayhem is a big brand, and they provide a lot of stuff from clothing to, like, there's several professional CrossFit athletes and all of that. So they do have stuff that, a lot of gyms will outsource their programs. So they'll buy programming from these brands, and it worked for quite some time. In our opinion, Mayhem kind of grew a little too much, and they were sending us stuff that just was very, very difficult for us to use.
Yeah, the timeline was so long. It was asking people to be warmed up prior to the class starting. Sometimes it would have abutting the next hour, and we just don't always have time for that. That and sometimes the equipment layouts wouldn't work. We can't do walking barbell lunges in our gym and while people are doing muscle ups. Like, there's just, it's the space thing. And
yeah.
So
for very, very high level athletes that can look at it and go, it worked, or it could work. For gyms like Delaware Fit Factory, where, like, our service is coaching. Our service is not like we pay for somebody else to tell us what to tell you. So you're coaching our coaches on what to do, and then they're delivering, the message to the people. Whereas it was very much like, this is written for somebody who is already very familiar with CrossFit and maybe needs somebody to turn the TV on for them. So it was a good, in my opinion, a lot of people are loving the programming as well, that it was a good switch from you having to change every little thing to fit our community to you just taking it over and writing everything from scratch. Tell us a little bit about your programming. Like, a lot of people will say that, like, I thought CrossFit was random, and you mentioned cycles and Metcons and strength pieces and all that. What goes through your brain with programming?
Well, for this year, it's kind of anchored in big events that we do together, big events for the gym. So our first cycle, for example, was kind of anchored in the Open. So a lot of front rack. We just finished up front squats. We finished up strict press. So a lot of that was, we knew we would see cleans. We knew we would see thrusters. We knew we would see just all of that front rack strength that we would need. So that's why we did those two, for the beginning of the year. And then the Metcons were a little bit shorter and a little bit more high intensity, I guess, if you will, just to get ready for those shorter open workouts. Usually those are right around or under 12 minutes because they run 2 heats in a class. We are ramping it up right now. This next cycle that we're starting next week is going to be getting us ready for Murph. So we're going to do back squats and bench press, because obviously we'll be doing a lot of push-ups and squats for Murph.
So what is Murph? Sorry.
Murph is our Memorial Day workout that we do every year. The one that I came for in 2019, my favorite workout. So it's a 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, 1 mile run, wearing a weighted vest. And it is in honor of Lieutenant Michael Murphy. I believe that's his first name's Michael, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I got that right. So we do that every May, right around Memorial Day. Memorial Day, I believe, is the day that we always do it, that Monday. So it's a great workout, but it's a lot of volume. So we're going to start working on a lot of movement volume, making sure that our bodies are conditioned for that kind of a workout. A lot more running, I'm so glad that the weather is turning, every other day we get a decent day. So trying to get some running in there and just upping our cardio, upping our volume, getting some longer workouts in.
Yeah. So definitely not the idea that some people have that CrossFit is just a bunch of random stuff thrown at the wall.
It's very well thought out. I mean, it is a lot of different stuff. I guess if you're just showing up every day and you're just doing whatever's written down, it probably feels random, and that's completely fine. Like, take it off your plate. I want you to be able to come in and just get a great workout. And that's what I started doing. I didn't know anything about programming when I first started. I just knew I was coming in and getting a great workout. So I love that can come off of people's plates, but no, a lot of thought goes into it. I care a lot about our members. Like, these people are my friends now. I know them. I hang out with people from here in my personal time. I know their injuries. I've coached a lot of the different classes, so I know who has what going on in their personal life and, physically, their capacities and abilities. So I take all of that into consideration. When I'm writing a workout, I'm writing something that I know Dom is going to complete and I know Suma's going to complete, and those are two members who are going to be doing vastly different movements. But again, it's what I was talking about before. I don't care about that. I care about their effort, but I also want to make it something that's fun for everyone. So while I don't post a score because I can get a little bit down on myself, like, the sport aspect comes out sometimes if I post and I feel like I should do well at something and I don't do as well as I want to, I can be hard on myself. And so I've realized in the last couple of years, it's better for me to just not log and to just take it day by day. But I do still dabble in the members app because I like to keep my pulse on the finger of my finger on the pulse of what's happening in the gym. If people are loving stuff, like, sometimes I write a workout and it's a partner workout and everybody's just like, what the heliante did you do? I am injured. Like, not injured, but I am unwell from that. And I'm like, oh, good. People liked it, but they're like, vibes were high. And then sometimes it's a flop and you're just like, it's okay. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
But no, it's not random at all. I think a lot about it. And we recently had someone in the gym who has some experience with CrossFit programming. And I was able to have a really valuable conversation about some of it because I am new at it. And so there's a lot of room for growth. I never want to be the smartest person in the room. I don't know. I never want to limit my growth because of my pride. And so I took a lot of information away from that conversation. And one, it was just really fun to talk to someone who could like nerd out with me about programming. You know what I mean? Like, this is definitely my yum. Like how we always say, don't yuck people's yum. This is my yum. And I realize that it's not for everyone. Like, not everyone wants to talk ad nauseum about writing CrossFit programming. I do. I can geek out over it. And so it was a great conversation. And I feel like I took away a lot of stuff. I've made many, changes to things and just, tried to brush up on making sure I'm giving our members the best. Because I do feel like people are coming, and they're expecting a good workout. And that's what I want to give them.
Yeah. And I think you definitely do. I know the conversation probably got real thick into the weeds of monostructural, weightlifting, gymnastics, hip extension, hip flexion, all of these things that like the average member,
my favorite things to talk about.
The average member is going to be like, what is this, a recipe? And like in your brain, yeah, they're just like, you're saying words I don't have a clue. Like,
and I'm thrilled for that. This is people's hour to themselves. If this is all they get in a day, I want people to be able to come in and totally turn their brain off. I don't want them to come in and think, why does my hip hurt? You know what I mean? Like, I want to be the one to put that on my plate to make sure that I'm not doing things that are going to be uncomfortable or too much of something or not enough of one thing. And so making sure that we have that, and then making sure we have the fun stuff sprinkled in, rope climbs and pistol squats and overhead squats and all of the, handstand walks, stuff that we don't always see, but it is fun to have that stuff added in. Yeah. And everybody loves a partner workout. I swear, if I just wrote 4 days of row and bench as a partner workout in 4 different variations, our attendance would break records. Yes. Everybody loves bench with a partner.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. That kind of stuff is a really good time. I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah. And I think you do a really good job of combining your technical knowledge and expertise with your finger on the pulse of the community. So that's something that a third party in Cookeville, Tennessee isn't able to do. Like they can follow the formulas and they can give us, I mean, for all we know, it's ChatGPT. But I mean,
I would never.
I'm not
bring
going
it in.
to.
I would never. I would not use ChatGPT. You all are getting this straight from my strained brain.
I'm not accusing Mayhem or any of those people that they're very smart.
How I've said I don't want to use ChatGPT.
Yes, but you're using your knowledge and your expertise, and you're combining it with your knowledge of our community. And like you said, we've got Dom, who, for all I know, finished like top 500 in his for the CrossFit Games, working out in the exact same class as Greg, who will be turning 81 in 2 months. And we have
both incredible athletes.
Yes, and we're writing workouts for both people. And they're going to be doing those same workouts, maybe slightly different movements. Like Dom's squat depth, I can guarantee, is much greater than Greg's, but they're still going to be doing the same stuff. They're going to be increasing their strength and their fitness and their health, which is what we need, and you're doing a great job with that. Tell us a little bit about, like you had mentioned, gearing up for Murph.
Yeah.
Murph is a very, like you said, a very long, a very strenuous workout. The volume or the number of reps and all of that, it's very long. What do we do if you were to write something like that into a class, or you even mentioned handstand walks and pistols? What does somebody do if they do not think they can achieve that?
If someone doesn't have the ability to do something yet that we're doing, we will have them scale. So that's what we call modifying any kind of workout. And workouts can be scaled down and they can be scaled up. So for instance, and I'm going to name drop right now because I forgot her in the list of coaches, and she was a big, I don't want to say intimidator because it was not a negative feeling, but I just got stars in my eyes when I saw her, and that is Ashley with a barbell. That girl can throw some weight around and does it so beautifully. So, for instance, someone like Ashley, when there is a barbell, she can always go up in weight, right? She would be scaling up because she has the strength in almost everything that we do to be able to still get the workout done in the time frame that we want it to be done in, but with a heavier weight. And then we also have people who are brand new. We have new moms. We have people who are just brand new to fitness in general. We have, people like Greg, who he is using a trainer bar because 15 pounds is the max that he's putting over his head due to, shoulder limitations or what have you. So he's going to be scaling that number down. If the weight for the workout was 65 pounds, Ashley might do 85, Greg might do 35. Everybody's ready to go. We're all going to get the workout done in the same amount of time. So we have a time frame or a goal that's set every day, either a goal number of reps or rounds and reps that you might get done of something. And we want to, as coaches, help members find what their different options need to be so that they hit that mark.
Yeah, there's a purpose, or the word that sometimes people get confused by is we sometimes we overuse the word stimulus. But what are we trying to accomplish? 5 rounds, for example, or we're trying to get this amount of work done in 7 minutes. And our on-ramp process gives, we've got 5 personal training CrossFit sessions to give people a jump off point. But now suddenly you're sharing, a workout with 15 other people. It can be a little intimidating. That's where our coaches jump in. And we're like,
yeah. And I'm going to be honest. That when you started the on-ramp process, I didn't have full buy-in. I came to CrossFit and it was like kind of sink or swim. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I loved my CrossFit experience. It was so fun coming in and getting started, but it was very much like, so you pick that ball up and you're going to throw it to that line. There wasn't a scale. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, this is what you're going to do. And I loved that. I was having a great time. I really, really enjoyed, when I first started at the old gym, but it is so nice now. I I have changed my feelings on the on-ramp process, because I think, one, it's incredible that you get 5 hours of personal training. And so it gives people so much, I think it just takes so much of the anxiety away of when people want to start, but they're not sure. You know, before I even started coming to the gym, I didn't know. I was like, what happens if you can't do pull-ups when I was coming for Murph? I'm like, what do you do? I didn't know anything.
There.
Yeah. I was just like, do you just have to leave? Like, can you not stay at the gym and work out? I had no idea. I didn't know anything about ring rows. So it's really nice that we can give people all of those options. And also then when they come in, they've already got some of like, you know, some of those reps out of the way, where like the first time you try a wall walk, no one does a wall walk well the first time they try it. Well, you might, but you know, like nobody kicks their feet up on the wall and you're like, now you just walk your hands back and you're like, what are you talking about? I'm not doing that. Like, so it just gets some of that out of the way. So then when you're doing it in class, you don't maybe like feel as embarrassed, you know what you can do. And then you know like what your limit is. So I've come around with the on-ramps. I love having people, I love doing on-ramps, and I love having people come in and be new and see the community kind of like swarm around them and be excited. Oh, it's your first class. Like, you know, it's great to see people coming in and moving their bodies and taking care of themselves.
Yeah. We know who you are, what you do, what we're doing now. I guess maybe not now, but in the immediate future. Right now we're in a deload week, and then we start the Murph prep, if you will. What else do we have in store for Delaware Fit Factory's future? What do you have in store for Delaware Fit Factory's future?
Wow. I don't know. I mean, I am enjoying coaching. I am enjoying programming. I know that we have talked about some High Rocks stuff coming up, so that's super exciting, because I know that we have a lot of people who have interest in that, and I think that is a really fun thing that we're going to offer.
Can we hard launch it right now?
Can we hard launch it? So the Sunday after Easter, High Rocks on Sundays, there will be a High Rocks class. You do not have to be a member of DFF to come to the High Rocks class. There will be a separate membership for that, but it is open to members at no additional cost to their membership. And then after Murph, we will start writing in High Rocks on Wednesdays as well. So it will be 2 days a week. So yeah, very excited.
For those who don't know,
about that.
High Rocks is this hybrid rock star mentality.
High Rocks is essentially CrossFit minus the barbell and the gymnastics.
We can think
so it's
longer,
wall balls,
a lot more cardio, and a lot of simpler, not easy, simpler movements. So we're not Olympic weightlifting. We're not doing advanced gymnastics or anything. There's a lot of burpees, a lot of wall balls, and kind of longer workouts.
Which is fun.
Yes.
Also fun. Not here to yuck anyone's yum.
Correct. Yeah. In fact, we have a number of, we were trying to count, we have 5 or 6 or maybe 7 teams going to a gym in Mount Vernon.
Yay, shout out Betsy. I can't wait to go
we're going
see
to visit
her.
Betsy.
We miss Betsy at the 5 a.m.
Yeah. They're doing a High Rocks event up there. And then a number of people are doing the New York event, like the official New York event. And then High Rocks, the business, announced a whole bunch of Midwest and more East Coast events towards the tail end of summer and fall and everything. So we really hope that, or at least what I'm hoping is that people really jump on this, because it's kind of another fun outlet. Like, we hold competitions here. We just had the Open. We do Fit Fest. There's stuff all over everywhere. But this is no different than, like, there's 5Ks all over the place. You said a Spartan race earlier. Yeah. So this is one more thing that we can train for that's just fun to see what our bodies are capable of doing. And, like, let's be honest, a majority of our members are parents or maybe even grandparents. So being in the NFL is just, it's not in the cards anymore, right? So we get to have fun and do fitness events and whatnot, even at our age with these kind of fun things that are popping up all over the place.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. Not to get too far into the weeds, but I really enjoy programming. Sorry, I didn't expect to get choked up, but my nighttime prayer with my kids has always been, thank you for our friends and family. Please keep everyone safe and healthy. So that said, I think that health is such an incredible gift. I think that having an able body and mind is such an incredible gift. And so I get really excited about when I take away, like when I strip down the sport aspect or the name CrossFit or, whatever we're doing and, get out of my own way sometimes. Like we can all get caught up in the leaderboard and, well, did they do this or was it to standard or, and when you strip all of that away down to the fact that we're able to come together as often as we can and exercise our healthy bodies, it's just such a gift. Like I want to have fun. I want other people to have fun. I want other people to feel strong. I can't wait for Kathy to get her pull up. Like it's just that kind of stuff that is incredible. It's incredible that we all have able bodies that we are able to come in and do this kind of stuff. So the fact that then we can fine tune it and like make it into a sport, that makes it really fun. But I do sometimes have to bring myself back down to like the fact that I'm getting to participate in helping other people, use the gifts that they have is
and
wonderful.
Be better every day.
And be better every day.
Yeah.
No, it is awesome. I really, really care so deeply about the people here. So thank you all for being members.
Let's shift the focus back towards you. I've got some rapid fire questions.
Oh gosh.
Yes. So I tell everybody if you don't have an immediate answer, if you need to pause and think, you're thinking.
How many times have you not known me to have an immediate answer?
Okay.
Go on.
Favorite CrossFit movement?
Squat snatch. Or for the Olympic lifters in the building, heyo, us. Okay, we got our USA weightlifting certifications last year. Shout out to Brett, right? Shout out to Pam and Cammie. We were all there having a great time. It's not technically a squat snatch. It's just a snatch. Only in CrossFit do we differentiate it because we do so many power snatches. But I love a full snatch. That's what she said. Go on.
Least favorite CrossFit movement?
Burpees. Boo. Actually, I was crushing burpees today. I was cruising. What else don't I like? Hold on. Let me think about it.
You can't think. Where do burpees versus thrusters? Which is worse?
Ring rows. Why are ring rows the hardest thing I've ever done? Good night. Sometimes in the warm-up, we'll be like, do 10 ring rows. I'm like, that might be all I have in the tank, man. Dang. Those humble me. Ring rows are humbling. Thrusters, 0.
It sounds like
I actually had to, it's funny that we're having this conversation. I had to go into programming and actually write in thrusters. I was like, I haven't written them for a long time. And I promise that was not an intentional bias. I write stuff all the time that I don't want to do or that I don't like. And I make myself show up for stuff that I don't like. But I was like, oh man, I've been not putting thrusters in. I wonder if that was.
We've done a lot of front squats and a lot of overhead press. Have we not? We've also done wall balls. We've done almost everything.
Yes, and handstand push-ups.
Thrust.
Yeah, we've done a lot of overhead press. I'm not concerned about people's ability to do them. I just realized that I don't typically write those in. That's not a movement that I go to in my mind when I have an overhead press that's needed. So.
Okay, whose catchphrase is this? Get your situation situated.
That would be Kelsey. Kelseroo, if you will.
Who once claimed, quote, this pace is not sustainable.
That would be my friend Billy Big Quad. That man loves some rest. Yes. Which, let's talk about him for 1 second. He could go in any gym, any CrossFit gym. We just were talking about this last night. He could walk into any CrossFit gym across the nation, walk in and do the workout as written. And yet he claims he's always just like, oh, I'm just here to move today. I'm like, you're a sleeper. He's like sneaky good. And Gilbert getting all of those ring muscle ups. I'm sorry, guys. I wish I could name drop every single person in the gym because I swear I think about these things after I leave. I think about all the members and how proud I am of them. Go on. What's your next question?
Next one. Even though we don't use a whiteboard anymore, who is known to say 9:30, let's talk at the board?
Oh, that would be Pamela.
Yes.
Pamela. God bless her, doing the Lord's work, hurting that group of cats every day. But all the coaches are amazing. Jenna, too. Oh, my gosh. Her gymnastics just took off. She's incredible. And she did the most phenomenal handstand walk clinic and just inversion clinic. We actually have a day coming up, and all credit to her. The only coach's notes are round of applause to Jenna, because she's like, what we're doing today in class is what she did for her inversion day. So it will be a whole day of everyone just learning inversions and handstand walks and wall walks and all of that at different levels. But that was really well put on. I just admire how well she did at that. So that was awesome.
Yeah. Humbling. I thought I was good at handstands. Turns out I'm not.
Oh, well, you are. We all did a great job. Everyone did such a phenomenal job that day. Anita doing wall walks, ma'am, you had a baby. Like, you're sustaining a life. You don't have to do a wall walk. And she did. She did anyway, because she's awesome. So,
yeah. What, this just popped into my head. What if there were 3 movements? Now, we did a lot of stuff that we like expected in the open for those specialty courses that you were talking about. If there were 3 movements that maybe we haven't done yet, what would those 3 movements that maybe we could sprinkle in over the summer? Because we have been doing a lot more of other things.
I will tell you, there was a spicy workout that just got posted for a Saturday, and it has burpee bar muscle ups. So that is a movement we have never done before in our gym. I don't know if there's anything that we specifically haven't done. We will spend some more time on the rings and always doing strict strength, pulling strength. So I know in our last cycle when we did the strict press, that was always doubled up with some kind of upper body strict pull, right? Because we want that push pull. We want really strong shoulders. I know that CrossFit gets a bad rap for our kipping pull-ups, but we do train the strict strength a lot. Anything that we do kipping, we should be able to do strict. For instance, perhaps sometime you could do a video of a strict bar muscle for everyone.
Cut this.
Just kidding.
I was tired.
Just kidding. But so anyway, to that end, we are going to continue with the strict pulling strength always. Murph is only going to increase that. We're going to get on the rings a little bit more and do some ring stuff. We've got ring dips, ring push-ups, some more of the low ring muscle up drills, which I know those get medium love, right? Like some people really like them, some people really don't. And I know that they can be boring and tedious, but I promise this is building strength. Like you're not wasting reps, right? No rep is ever wasted. Even if you're just doing the warm up and the coach says, give me 5 ring rows. Those 5 ring rows are for a reason. Every single one of them are building strength. Every time you come in and you're doing something, you're building strength in that. So, I just encourage everyone to stick through some of the stuff that's not so fun, because we do a lot of really, really incredible, fun, athletic, sporty things in CrossFit, but a lot of what makes you feel really good happens in those boring controlled reps, in building strength, in eating well, in sleeping well, in, just taking care of yourself outside of the gym too. So maybe that time for you during the day can be like a little meditative time while you're doing ring rows and being like, wow, these are so boring, but I'm so grateful that I'm here with these people.
Yeah. Yes. Some consistency and intention with everything that you do, not in a stressful way, but if we're doing just had somebody's first on-ramp session today.
Yay!
And
love a newbie.
Yes, we were going over the hip halo and the red band routines, and I was like, I want you to pay attention. If nothing more, like, we'll correct your squat, but if you're not doing these with intention when you come in, like, then we
the hip halo will tire me out. By the end of the warm-up, I'm just like, wow, I'm gassed.
If it is done right, and you can ask any physical therapist, like Brett constantly tells people to do this to strengthen their hips. If you are doing the hip halo routine correctly, regardless of like what kind of weight you're pushing on a bar, like you are going to be stronger, you're going to be more stable.
Yes.
Same thing with the banded warm-up.
Shout out to our physical therapists who have helped us put together some really phenomenal workouts or warm-ups. Kat and Ryan and Brett have all been so helpful in, Kat showed me how to do a glute bridge walkout with my heels one time. And I do that every time we do the hip halo now, because it's just like, the more knowledge I can pull from all of these people, right? I want to implement that because I want people to be here for a long time, not just a good time. I want them here for both, but
yeah,
healthy bodies, healthy minds. That's the end goal. The end goal is for all of us to be Greg, right? And Barb and Lisa coming in and killing it. I mean, our seniors class today at 8:30, like they just come in, find their partner. They did the same workout we did in class. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, again, we talk about that scaling. They're modifying some of the movements to what their body is able to do, but it's like, that's the end goal, is to feel good forever.
Yeah.
So I'm thrilled and so grateful and blessed to be part of this community and be able to spend some of my time on this earth impacting everybody who's here's lives with, these little workouts that make you feel like a baddie.
So we'll close by with this question. If somebody's on the fence, or if somebody doesn't know that this is for them, or even they know they got to do something, but they're scared, or they don't think they have time, or whatever, something's stopping them from.
I say try it. And if you don't like it, then try something else. We have said this before. I know I've told you, like, sometimes if people go through on-ramp and they come to a couple of classes and then they're like, it's not for me. That's fine. CrossFit won't be for everyone. The music is loud. It's very, it is a very specific kind of workout. And some people are going to love that and feed off that environment, and some won't. But like, that's fine. Then try something else. Like, let us tell you where else you could, you know what I mean? Like, we're not trying to gatekeep on health and wellness. But if you're scared about starting, we've made the process as user friendly as possible, right? Like, you're getting personal training from a coach in the gym. You get to see it from a safe space. You get to see the classes. You get to learn the names and learn the movements. The coaches are friendly. The people are so friendly. Like, just try it. And it doesn't have to be your forever choice. But I think if you try it, you'll find that it's really a great time.
You just got to show up.
You just got to show up.
Show up,
Bill.
All right. That is all that we have. Jessica, thank you for joining us on the Fit Frequency. Everybody, listeners, feel free to follow the gym, Delaware Fit Factory, on Instagram and Facebook. And there's also, I can never remember what it is, but the podcast also has an Instagram handle now.
The Fit Frequency.
The Fit Frequency podcast, and there's some underscores.
I didn't know I followed it, and then it popped up one day, and I was like, hey, that's Annie.
It's there, yeah.
I love that girl.
So if you have any show requests, or if you want to hear from a specific member or coach or whatever it is, let us know. And then, of course, make sure that you eat better, you sleep better, and train better so that you can be better every day. And we'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah. Thanks for listening if you stuck through it this long. I was kind of rambling in the beginning. I was so nervous. I've always said I would never do a podcast, so this is a big day for me. But to that end, if anyone ever has any questions for me, or you want to complain to me about the workouts, or tell me what you like about them, please find me in the gym. I love to talk about programming. I really do. I will geek out with you about it. So I am open to all feedback, good, bad, or indifferent. I guess indifferent, nobody's going to say anything, but I see you too. Good job.
We did it.
We did it.